What's going on, family? Maurice Beta, Helpful Trucker here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you've never been here, I'm a truck driver and I like to make helpful content, typically dealing with life, business, entrepreneurship, of course, trucking, finances, stuff like that. So in this video, I want to discuss something that I believe that most self-employed individuals are going to have to deal with at some point, right? I want to discuss lifestyle creep. I want to discuss how a lot of us, and I'm talking about my own situation in this particular video, how a lot of us have a difficult time resisting the urge to spend more, basically because we make more, basically because we're earning more. The reason I'm making this video is because right now I am in a situation that I kind of feel embarrassed and ashamed about. I've gotten myself into a financial situation, and the reason I feel a financial dilemma, I should say, and the reason I feel embarrassed and ashamed is because on my channel, I make videos talking about being financially savvy. I make videos talking about being doing the right things with your money as a self-employed individual. And I haven't been taking my own medicine. I won't say I haven't been taking my own medicine. I didn't take my own medicine. So I'm limited with how much I'm willing to share publicly on a YouTube video, but I feel like I have to share it. Like, I'm the type of person that if what I'm doing and what I'm saying doesn't align, then it just don't feel right. So like, to get it off my own chest, I have to put it out. Essentially a purchase was made a few years back for $90,000. And just to keep it short and sweet, I want to keep this video as short and concise as possible. It's not a purchase that's earning more money. It's not that type of purchase. You could consider it an investment, but it was a bad investment. It was an awful deal. Okay. And I'm into it now. I'm into it for the next, it's a contract. It's a financed contract. I'm into it for over the next 15 years at this point. And again, it didn't just happen. The impact of what happened and the severity of what happened is just hitting me right now. And there's more context to this. There's a lot more to this story, again, that I'm not necessarily willing to share right here on the video. But again, the severity of what happened a couple of years back is just hitting me right now. Like within the last few days, I'm talking about within the last week. And it's like, man, I gotta figure out a way to get out of this deal. But again, it's a contract. I'm into it now. It's not something, I haven't explored all of my options yet. Definitely, because it's kind of just culminating right now what happened. So I haven't explored all my options yet, but it's like, it's not something that I can sell back or that I can, give back. I don't think it is. Again, it's not something that's earning money, that's bringing back money. It's bringing back money, but it's going to take so long for the return, to come, that, again, it was a bad investment. It was an awful investment. Consider it a home improvement. Like, I didn't go out and buy a $90,000 car or anything like that. But like I said, it's not nothing to deal with the business. It's not anything that's, going to make us more money. But I'm into it now. Got to take a minute. I'm so serious. Like I said, the gravity of this, really, I'm serious when I say it just hit me in the last few days. And again, there's a reason why the impact of what was happening didn't hit me a couple of years ago, and I didn't shut it down then. There's a reason why that didn't happen. Main reason I want to talk about this is because, like, there was some simple things, some simple principles that I would have applied. And I know them. This is why I'm so ashamed that I didn't apply them. I know to apply them. But if I would have just paid attention, this would have never happened. You're gonna have opportunities and feel the desire to want to spend more as you earn more. Like, keeping your lifestyle low was easy when you wasn't making money, right? And now that you start making more money, like, for a lot of us, it gets more and more difficult to resist the urge to spend more, create more bad debt for ourselves, debt that isn't earning us, any money, buy consumer items, Like it becomes more difficult to resist the urge to do that, but you have to resist the urge to do that, because in between what you earn and what you're able to keep is where your that's where your wealth is going to come from. That's where your wealth creation is going to come from. And if you ain't got no room in between there's a law called Parkinson's Law, which basically applicable to this situation. People tend to spend everything that they make. That's the natural tendency of most of us. You got to figure out a way to keep a big gap in between what you make and what you can keep and what you got to spend, basically what goes back out. Because again, you got into trucking, you became an owner-operator, you became self-employed so that you could build wealth for yourself. And if you don't learn how to keep a big gap in between what you're earning and what you got to spend, then you're done before you even get started. And so I want you to make sure you pay attention to these 4 things as you start to earn more money being self-employed, whether that's trucking or whatever you do. First thing is, pay close attention to the shit that you sign. Pay extra close attention to the stuff that you put your name on, that you sign your name on. Because once you make that obligation, you have to honor it, right? So like a lot of us, especially self-employed, we're always busy. We don't have a lot of time. Time is necessarily not necessarily our friend. And, we'll be rushed into signing things sometimes. Like people that are trying to sell us stuff and get our money are always trying to capitalize on the fear of missing out. They're always trying to present narratives that are a bit manipulative, trying to make a problem seem bigger than it actually is so that they can position themselves as a solution in our mind, and we'll want to take advantage of it now instead of putting it off until later. They got all kinds of ways of making us want to do that and think that we need what they are selling or what they're offering. Pay close attention to what you sign. Take the time to go over and review documents. Have them reviewed by an attorney if you have to. It might cost you on the front end, but it'll save you money on the back end to make sure you take the time to understand the contracts. And this whole thing is about contracts. We're into all kinds of contracts that we really truly don't understand. Pay close attention to the shit that you put your name on. Another thing, understand what's happening whenever you borrow money. Understand what's happening whenever you're financing something. You are promising to pay that money back with future money that you haven't even earned yet. You're promising to pay that money back with labor that you haven't even done yet. So you're selling your future, you're selling the proceeds of your future labor whenever you borrow money with a promise to pay it back. Understand that when you think of it that way, well, how am I going to have enough to pay for my current debts in the future if I've sold all of the proceeds from my future labor to pay for stuff that I have now? So where's the money going to come from to pay for the future stuff? Right? So this is obviously how people end up in a pinch, not really understanding what's happening when they're borrowing money and then not treating it seriously enough. In my opinion, you should only be borrowing money when the money produces a return, when it produces some type of return that you desire. Most of the time that return is going to be financial, but sometimes it might be about something else, but it should be about a return. If you don't want to sell off the proceeds from your future labor, then the money that you borrow needs to be spent in a way that it produces a return, and then you can make the payment with the return that the money produces. In my opinion, this is the only way you should be borrowing money. And the fourth thing I want to warn you about to pay attention to is the thought of, I can do this. I can probably do this because I'm doing okay now, or because I'm running okay now, or because the money is coming good right now. I can probably afford this because work is good right now. I can remember the night that this transaction happened thinking that I can probably do this because I'm running good right now. I'm making good money right now, right? The reality is in trucking, especially as an owner operator, like you don't have a guaranteed check. You could be doing great this month and things could change next month. When I say things change, it might not necessarily be with your income. What we've all experienced in the last few years that's changed, that don't have nothing to do with our income, is the rising cost of things. Everything has gone up over the last few years. So when I say things can change, sometimes it's dealing with your income, sometimes it's dealing with how much you make or the source of your income or losing your job or something like that. But like it could be a variety of things that change that's out of your control. So, you know, you might be doing good now, but you don't want to base what your financial situations or, you know, getting credit based on how you're doing now. Because again, you're talking about your future labor. You're talking about something that ain't even happened yet. So you want to be really, really, really careful when you sell off the proceeds of your future labor that way. And again, I can remember that night, that thought creeping into, or in my mind, like, you're going to have the same opportunity. Somebody's going to present something to you. They're going to present it to you in a real good way. And in the back of your mind, you're gonna be like, you know, money's good right now. I could do this if I wanted it, right? So but be careful of that thought, because you can't measure it by that. Forget how good you're doing now. Understand that next week, next month, next quarter, next year, things could change. Again, gotta center myself. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, what I done got myself into, what we've gotten ourselves into. So you guys just pay attention to those things. I know they're simple, but if you listen to the video this far, hopefully you got something from it. Be sure to leave me a like. And as you continue to make more money as a self-employed individual, truck driver or not, make sure you pay attention to the 4 things that I shared with you in this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're new here, you're still watching the video at this point, be sure to subscribe. I'm about to get back into dropping some more YouTube videos. I haven't been dropping them like I was at once, but I'm about to get back into that. So subscribe, you'll be notified when I do. See you guys in the next video. Hope you found it helpful.